smooth jazz, and soul with Sapphire. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How are you? This is DJ Sapphire, and I'm gonna be playing you the best in smooth jazz and soul. Started off with this fabulous version of Guess Who Loves You More by Joe Johnson. How are you all doing? So wonderful to have so many of you tuned in right now, and happy Friday to each and every one of you. Beautiful sound of R.L. Walker and Castella in the mood. And I have to say happy belated birthday to R.L. Walker, who celebrated his birthday just a couple of days ago. How you doing, Yvette Sibbert? And thank you so much, Robert Hayward, for my coffees. I really do appreciate your love and your continued support. This is the beautiful sound of Rodney Kelly Jr. Wavy. How you doing, Bernard? I hope all is well with you. The weather here in the UK is very cold and wet, and we get a glimpse of sun now and again, but other than that, it's pretty chilly here. Just One Wish, Brian Simpson and Norman Brown. How you doing, Morris Moss? I do hope all is well with you. And hey, James Aubrey, thank you so much for being here today. And hi, James Wood, lots of Jameses today. And this next track is by James Morgan Jazz, and it's called Frequency of Love. Beautiful track, Frequency of Love, James Morgan Jazz, and I am definitely feeling the love today. How you doing, Jerome Ivory? Wonderful that you have joined us today. And hey, Goldie, smell good. So wonderful that you are here with us as well. And I shall look forward to seeing you, Michelle Sellers, at Jazz Legacy Foundation in Hampton, Virginia, between the 5th and the 9th of November. And you too, Robert Hayward. you are tuned in. I hope all is well with you, and I'm looking forward to getting more music from you. And that was a great sound of Blair Bryant, Footsteps in the Dark. How you doing? Life's a Jungle. joined us today, and this was the fabulous sound of Michael Fields Jr. Yearning, and he also celebrated his birthday this week alongside Yvette Smothers and Wonder Jazzy Lady and Sheila and Shelley Singleton. Still lots of birthdays in October.
Oh, 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 yeah. Excuse me, miss, but what's your name? Where are you from? And can I come and possibly get I take you out tonight to a movie, to the park? I'll have you home before it's dark, so let me know. Can I take you out tonight? That's why I had to come over and introduce myself to you, 'cause you're never gonna know where you'll find love. Oh, and hopefully I'll find it in you.
Jackson featuring L. Young, and I actually met Jason Jackson last year at Jazz Legacy Foundation. He wasn't playing, but I do hope I get to see him perform one day. How you doing, Mary Johnson? son of Vandel Andrew. And I want to say a big thank you to Gwennis for wishing my sisters a happy birthday for Sunday. Yes, Jacqueline and Judith are out there celebrating early in Spain, having a wonderful time. How you doing, Rose Lady Edmund? So wonderful that you have joined us today, and I do hope you are feeling better, Lima.
Must have been an angel by my side. Something heavenly led me to you. Look at the sky, it's the color of love. There must have been an angel by my side. Something heavenly came down from above. He led me to you, oh, he led me to you. He built a bridge to your heart all the way. How many tons of love inside I can't say. When I was led to you, I know you were the one for me. I swear the whole world could feel my heartbeat. When I laid eyes on you, you wrapped me up in the color of love. You gave me the kiss of life, kiss of life. You gave me the kiss that's like kiss of life. Wasn't it clear from the start? Look, the sky is full of love, so full of love. Yeah, you gave me the kiss of life, kiss of life. You gave me the kiss that's like kiss of life. You gave me the kiss of life, kiss of life. You gave me the kiss that's like kiss of life. You wrapped me up in the color of love in the moonlight, baby. It must have been an angel come down from above, giving me love, yeah. You gave me the kiss of life, kiss of life, giving me love. You gave me the kiss that's like giving me love, kiss of life, giving me love. You gave me the kiss of
I
life.
absolutely adore this version of Kids of Life. Blair Bryant featuring Beth there on vocals. SB, yes, my sisters Jacqueline and Judith Their birthday's on the 26th of October. They are Scorpios, just missed out on being Librans.
Baby, baby, alright.
Out there in Brazil. So wonderful that you have joined us today, and that was Classy Lady by Andre Ward. And yes, SB, Jacqueline and Judith are twins, and funny enough, we are all the same age, so we are triplets right now, but they will be turning a year older on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, ain't nothing wrong tonight, 'cause I feel like saying, 'cause I found my baby. She's everything that I like. Yeah. Makes music to my life. Yeah. She making my body dance. I'm giving it one more chance. Tell you the things my heart's been feeling, and everything my love's revealing. And I want it, and I need it, and I really wanna get it. Give me feeling, 'cause I'm ready. Wanna tell the world everything I'm feeling. I got a lot break it down to something slower. When I get you home tonight, like, till it's turn out the lights, yeah, we gon' make everything alright. I'm flying high each moment with you, 'cause there's no one else I'd rather choose. 'Cause I want it, and I need it, and I really wanna get it, get it, 'cause I'm ready. I wanna tell the world how I'm really feeling, yeah. Got a lot to give, and now I got somebody, yeah, to appreciate her, and you know I'm willing to do anything for her, my baby, baby, baby. That's right. Love, yeah.
You are correct, Shea Butter Mama. This is Kenny Lattimore and Brian Culbertson, Another Love. And Bernard was so lucky to see Brian Culbertson perform out there in DC. It looked amazing. How you doing, J Mac? I do hope all is well with you and Mary. So I was born 1 year in October, and my twin sisters were born the next year in October. So we are the same age, only for 21 days. version of Lovely Day by Groove Frequencies. I will definitely organize that Zoom jazz session real soon. I will promise to make it happen. How are you all doing? I do hope you're all having a lovely day. And I want to say hi to all my listeners out there in Japan and in Mexico and Argentina and the UK and the USA and in Africa and anywhere else in the world where you are tuned in.
Every time I see your face, hopeless, colder than ice with no more flame. I think our love has reached the point of no return. It's so sad when lovers can't see. To say every time I try and talk to you, every word is lost in space, drifting further apart in every way. We've come to be the ones whose love is out of sight. It's so clear that we just don't see.
Bushy was enjoying that version of Eye to Eye by Output and Input featuring Shannon Pearson there on vocals. Absolutely fantastic. How you doing, Celio? I do hope all is well with you. And I want to say hi to all those listening out there in Australia. Thank you so much for being here with me today. You do have good taste in music. This is the sound of Sheldon Ferguson, Take You There. Such a fantastic track. I do need to play it more often. How you doing, Senu? And I want to say hi to all those who are going to be at Jazz Legacy Foundation between the 5th and the 9th of November. I am so looking forward to meeting each and every one of you. Especially you, J Mac. You've been listening to my show for quite a while, so I'm looking forward to seeing you in person. say thank you all so much for your kind words about today's show. I'm glad you are enjoying my selection. And this was the great sound of Althea Renee, What You Gonna Do With My Lovin'. And I have some fantastic news for those in the UK. The Althea Renee will be coming over in February, I do believe it's the 3rd of February, performing at Soul Mama. Please do share it and let people know, as it's going to be a fabulous show. To play that one, especially for my sisters Jacqueline and Judith, who will be celebrating their birthday this Sunday in Spain. And this is España by Paul Hardcastle Jr. I do hope you guys enjoyed that one. How you doing, Taboris? I hope all is well with you, and happy Friday to you, Dr. Tashi. Pristine Edie, you are correct. This is the sound of Nathan Mitchell, Minha Amada. I absolutely love that one. And yes, SB and Gwennis, I will definitely tell you my story on that Zoom event. And I'm going to try and do it before the year is out. When I get back from Jazz Legacy in Hampton, Virginia, I will start prepping it. Shadow Dancer, Vincent Ingala. I could see that had you guys moving. How you doing, Carl, out there in France? Thank you so much for being here today, and happy belated birthday, Bushy. And I hope you have a fantastic birthday party in South Africa on the 8th of November. I wish I could be there. Pristine Edie, this next one is especially for you. Pristine Edie, for sending this one to me. That was so nice. Move Time by Alfonso Gaglusi and Enrico Salazzo and Lescend. Please next time send me some tracks with easier names to pronounce. I do hope I did it justice. definitely a worldwide family. How are you doing, Escorpy, out there in Barcelona? And that was the sound of D Brown. DJ and house party queen, how you doing? I hope all is well with you both. Knock on wood, and that is Gerald Albright. How are you doing, Greg, out there in Oslo? So wonderful that you have joined us today. see many of you enjoying that one. Do I do? Andre Ward. I would love to do an extra hour, but as you know, YouTube does not allow that. And also, I've got to be up at 8 a.m. as I am DJing for Black History Month event right here in Derby from 10 a.m. till 4 o'clock. So I need to get up early to prepare some music. And this next one I'm going to play for you is so beautiful. Tell Me How It Feels. Mike Stevens and Melissa Morgan. You did make me laugh. Yes, there's a lot of black people here in Derby to celebrate Black History Month. I'm just hoping they will come out in the cold and enjoy the day.
Control my heart. It skips a beat even before the loving starts. Yeah, yeah. I seem to fall in love with just the slightest touch, and even the little things begin to mean so much. And though I should hold out longer just to make sure things get strong, you tell me that you love me, yeah, yeah. And before I'm sure you really do, you say you love me more and more each day. And that's when my sensitivity gets in the way. My sensitivity. Of love, but you say the right thing, baby, and it's automatic love. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I try not to let you know how easily I go off into lover's land just when you touch my hand. And though I should wait to see how things are gonna really be, tell me that you love me, and before I'm sure you really do, you say you love me more and more each day. And that's when my sensitivity gets in the way. My sensitivity. Like Luther would say, he said, la la la, la la la. Sensitivity. When I love you, it's my sensitivity. It's right to be so sensitive. I can help but love you. Oh, my sensitivity.
Let us see. My sensitivity gets in the way. I shall be doing a show on Monday, but I do believe our clocks go backwards at the weekend, so just be aware of that if you are not in the UK. A wonderful way to end my show. When will I see you again, Peter White? And my sisters have joined. I want to say happy early birthday greetings to you two, Jacqueline and Judith, enjoying champagne in Alicante. I hope to be with you guys real soon. I'm dedicating this one to you two, and this is Champagne Live, Gerald Albright and Norman Brown, and I hope each and every one of you have a fantastic weekend, and I will be back on Monday. Take care.
days, living the champagne life. Everything's okay, let's toast it up. Oh, baby, let's toast it up. Oh, say we play all night and we play all day, living the champagne life. Everything's okay, let's toast it up. Oh, baby, let's toast it up. Oh, champagne life. Oh.